Sammy Baugh, though 36 years old and with 15 seasons of full competition behind him, gives no signs of nearing the end of his amazing career.
Art Monk is now number one, the most prolific pass receiver in the National Football League's history. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
This is Harry Hog Football, the original Redskins fans podcast. On today's show, we talk about the game between the Washington Redskins and the Cincinnati Bengals, and how the Redskins once again started off slow. Are you getting panicked? Or is it just preseason? We'll talk about this and much more live with Aaron and Josh. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, Josh?
Yo, yo, yo. What's happening?
Excellent.
Welcome to Harry Hog Football, episode number 428, in which Josh
and Terrell Green.
Josh is doing the entire podcast as Kevin Harlan.
No, I am your new voice of the Washington Redskins. We've kicked Larry Michael out of the booth, and from now on, I will be calling the shots.
You sound a little more like that stadium dude.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yes.
First down.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Anyway, everybody, welcome to Harry Hug Football, number 428. And
400 and Darrell Green.
John is still on the IR. DL.
He is.
IR. He's one of the two
IR.
players that's allowed to come back from the IR.
He may be coming back up to the practice squad soon.
John said that he's taking the preseason off to
ride the pine.
he's kind of like our Sonny Jurgensen. He's starting to take some games off. No, John's recovering from an infection that he had, and so he was
Yes.
back in the hospital, but he's doing better now. So hopefully John will be mended and back on the podcast soon. And
We hope to have him back lickety-split. Two
Also-
shakes of a coon's tail.
also like to give a shout out to our benevolent sponsor, Desmond Seeley. You can find him at Desmond Seeley 2 on Twitter.
Because Desmond Seeley 1 was already taken.
I'd also like to give a shout out to the people that I talked to you guys last week on my solo monologue podcast, which I'm sure was pretty boring, and mentioned that we may be open to having some subs. I don't mean subs from like Jimmy John's. I mean substitutes on the podcast when one of our colleagues, like Josh or John, can't do it. And I got some requests. Our good pal, I got some feedback. Our good pal Shanny's Glass Eye mentioned that he'd be willing to fill in here. And
Shanny's Glass Eye.
our friend Ricky, I think he's out in California. I'm not sure.
Is that Ricky?
Ricky
Is he in Vegas or California?
Maybe Vegas. Ricky Garcia said he'd be interested.
Ricky Garcia.
And Boston Skins Dan said he'd be interested. I sent for you guys. I sent Ricky.
Boston Foreskins Dan.
I sent Ricky a Skype request, but he has not approved me, so to speak. And that's how we record. So once you accept me as a friend, we can do that. And the other two dudes we let our website lapse again. So I haven't gotten emails from you, and you probably haven't gotten them from me. I was wondering why they weren't sending. But anyway, so if you guys
be back up and running today or tomorrow at the latest. We're waiting for it to propagate across the internet.
Yeah, we paid
Apparently in our busy lives, we forgot to hit the auto renew button on it this year again. So
again.
There you go. You know, it's like we've only been doing this for like, a couple of weeks or something. It's not like we've been doing this for how many years now? Like
I think
12?
this is like our 11th or 12th season. But
it's been a really rough year for Harry Hawks football about the past year and a half. So
super rough.
Yeah, super rough with having John go down, and he had that on the field injury that kind of wrecked him for a bit. But John's been on the mend, and we're glad to hopefully get him back. And
he'll be back by game one. He'll be back by game one.
So
and Yeah, so anyway, appreciate you guys that are willing to help out, and we're going to see what that happens. We'll probably bring some people in to just do some segments here and there and then see how it goes. Let you get your feet wet so that you can
Mix it up a bit.
so you can be a professional like us.
You know, we pioneered the podcast back when Apple first came out with the term podcast. Not to mention we were the original Redskins fans podcast. And here we are some 12 years later or so, still yakking at you guys every week. So
Original Redskins fans podcast. There were some professional ones before us.
yes, the original Redskins fans podcast. And there have been a lot of Redskins podcasts that have come and gone in between.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Brandon Lloyd podcast?
Yeah, and remember the Skinny on the Skins? That one was out before us. That was like through some website or something.
Skinny on the Skins. Brandon Lloyd did a podcast for a while. Where's Brandon Lloyd? What happened to that dude?
I don't know.
I heard that he and
that'll
Adam
be the
Archuleta
segment for
opened a pizza shop somewhere.
See, that's a segment that one of these guys could offer to take over the Where Are They Now segment.
Where Are They Now segment?
Where
I mean, come on, guys.
are they
We need
now?
somebody to do that. Put together a Where Are They Now from Redskins over the past 12 years since we've been doing this.
And be ready to
you know,
go. At the drop of a hat, you need to be ready to go with it.
Right. If you have any reconnaissance video, stalker type stuff of these people, that would be awesome. We could share it.
Like when you took
paparazzi.
that picture of Bill Cowher eating soup.
I did take a picture of Bill Cowher eating soup, and he caught me, and he did not look happy. And when Bill Cowher looks at you and doesn't look happy, you kind of feel it. So, anyway.
Oh, he's here. The latest news I see about Brandon Lloyd in Wikipedia is that he retired in 2014 from San Francisco, and that year he had 14 games and 14 receptions.
Catch a game.
So the most receptions Brandon Lloyd ever had was for Denver in 2010. He had 77. That was a pretty big year.
That was a big year, man. I mean, when he was with us, it's like he could barely catch a cold half the time.
Yeah. So anyway, since then, this is what he did. Where are they now? He was featured on the Spike TV show Blue Mountain Slate.
Is someone there tonight?
He made the
Holding
Billboard
the
R&B
ball that was
chart.
mine?
Billboard R&B chart with his song Heavy.
What? I'm listening to that all day tomorrow on loop.
He said he was quoted as saying after he received criticism for trying to balance careers in football and rap.
What? Wait, what?
He was criticized after trying to balance careers in football and rap, is what it says.
I did not. Can we play Heavy on the outtake today?
Quoted-
Can you find that and cue it up?
Quoted in 2011 article, Lloyd said, "I have the guts to stand out and do something I'm passionate about. Go against the grain and go against the conventional wisdom that the athlete rap thing is unsuccessful. Yet I'm going to do it. People will say, 'Oh, you're doing hip-hop music? Who does he think he is, a rapper? He's trying to be someone he's not, when in reality, I'd be someone I'm not by not expressing myself in music.'"
So existential.
And then also in 2013, he was featured in a direct-to-DVD film called After Effect with Daniel Baldwin.
The key words here are direct to DVD and Daniel Baldwin.
One of the lesser-known Baldwins.
He was like Tito of the Jacksons.
Lloyd has one speaking line and less than 1 minute of screen time.
Well,
But you can check
still
that
an
out. It's called
IMDb
After Effects.
credit.
Not to be confused with After Effects, the award-winning software from Adobe.
Adobe had to make sure that they said that. It was probably called After Effects, and Adobe called and was like, can't do that. Brandon Lloyd, he probably had 3 minutes. He ended up on the cutting room floor for 2 of those.
Yeah, some of the articles that were cited in this Wikipedia page is an article called "No Bad Rap for Broncos Receiver Brandon Lloyd."
Interesting. Yeah, see if you can queue up Heavy on the outtake, man. Brandon Lloyd would probably appreciate it if you play it on Spotify and he gets that 1/1000th of a cent when you play it.
I need to set this up in our system so that I can put Spotify. I don't know if that's legal. I don't know if that's legal, dude.
Okay, we'll have to.
We have
we'll
to check with our
our-
lawyers.
we'll check
Desmond
with
C.
the attorneys.
Desmond. Desmond's our
Do we
lawyer.
need to get permission to play Brandon Lloyd's heavy?
We also have
Like,
David Lee, the guy that gave us the HHFFL Fantasy Football League trophy. He's a lawyer. Speaking of HHFFL, the draft is set for, I think, the 5th, dudes. Check in your emails in your Yahoo if you're in the league. You know who you are. And we were discussing possibilities of actually shipping the trophy to whoever wins. But if we're going to do that, we're going to have to, collect some funds to ship that thing because it literally weighs like 40 pounds. It's this huge, huge trophy. So we'll discuss that in the league. All you other guys don't want to hear about it.
Have we been fulfilling the engravings on it from the winners over the years?
It's like the Stanley Cup, dude. It's got engravings on it, and we just keeps adding
the engravings on it. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is so huge, it's hard to ship. I mean, David Lee basically commissioned some local dude to cast this thing.
Did he really?
No, it came from some website, but it's cool. It is like 2 feet tall, so
That's awesome.
we'll have to discuss that because basically it's been sitting around my house, and I think it would be better suited if it was going to the champions every year. Anyway,
I agree.
let's get to the actual.
Let's talk about this preseason
Washington
game.
Redskins.
I don't think we want to spend too much time on it, given that it's preseason. But there are some takeaways, maybe.
Yeah, there's some takeaways, and we can give our games and our kicks. My first takeaways from I've watched the game 1.5 times on NFL Game Pass. I watched the condensed version for the second half, and my first takeaway is the offense. Here's just the overall 5 million foot view. The offense was horrible until Kirk Cousins threw that horrible pick, and then they came back, and Fat Rob looked like a man possessed. And then they started moving down the field. And it's like something snapped at that point. Something snapped at that point on that interception, oh man, we better get our stuff together. We're horrible.
Yep.
And as far as the defense goes, I think the defense is looking better than last year. They gave up that long drive to the Bengals, but it wasn't horrible. You weren't sitting there thinking man, we can't stop anyone ever. It's
no,
they're better against the run. They're clogging holes in there.
We look a little bit tighter underneath too, that in the cover 2.
Yeah,
It seems like it's a little tightened up a little bit. There's always this gaping hole there before where it's any quarterback could just dump a pass off underneath and they could get 5, 6, 7 yards out of it.
Yeah, dude. Zach Brown is looking pretty good.
Who's that other guy that we got? Bob Marley's grandson.
Nico Marley. He's a long shot to make the team, I think. But
I know he's a long shot dude, but I thought he looked like he was playing hard when he was in there.
He's always flying
It
around.
seemed like he was a ball hawk, man. He always ended up where the ball was at the end of the play.
I think he might end up on the practice squad. I really do.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's going to be difficult.
He was jamming, man. Jamming.
It's going to be difficult for a lot of these guys. I mean, it's usually easier for us to say who's going to be cut because there's so many guys that are horrible. But we've got a lot more depth on both sides of the ball this year. Look at the receivers.
Oh, I know, dude.
And
I think it's going to be tough to get it all pared down this coming week.
I know, at least if you guys didn't hear, there's only one cut down now after the 4th preseason game. And the Redskins were kind of instrumental in setting that up. Because they're like, dudes, we're out of players for the last game. We don't want to play our starters.
Right.
And then we had to cut some dudes. It's more beneficial for them to show some other teams what they can do one more game.
It's just let them play and then let's cut.
Yeah. So
who's the dude that we can talk about it. We'll get there. We'll get there when we get to kicks.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, the defense looks further along to me this year than the offense. I'm a little concerned about Phil Taylor. Is that his name? the big fatty, the nose tackle.
Oh yeah.
That he went down. It looked like some guy's knee landed right on the inside of his thigh, right above his knee.
Thigh. I think he's just gonna have like a what?
They
What they say?
They said contusion, which means bruise.
Yeah, contusion. It's a bruise, dude. I mean, give him a week, he'll be all right.
Yeah, that dude was flying around, and I was really impressed on special teams. Well, just all around with Spate.
Oh,
he had the first three.
Martrell.
The first three tackles on kicks, he had them.
Yep.
And then remember he blew that dude up in the backfield on the run later in the game. He might. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts over Mason Foster.
Who caused that fumble on that kickoff and that we won?
Dude. Was it? It wasn't Spate, was it?
That's what I was trying to remember. If it was, I don't remember.
I'd have to go back and watch it.
Me.
I'd have to go back and watch. I can't remember at all.
I mean, but special teams seemed to be alert and aware, and they were making,
well, yeah,
making some good play on the field.
That's a good point. I was going to bring that up. We haven't really talked about special teams, but they've been solid. The kick coverages have been good the whole preseason. There hasn't been anyone close to breaking one on us. Knock on wood.
Right.
I mean,
of course, it's preseason.
I mean, we haven't seen any electrifying returns or anything like that, but
Yeah.
Didn't I hear that Jamison Crowder was going to return kicks, but they've been having Will Blackman back there doing it?
Yeah. I kind of wish we had practiced an onside kick in this game. I thought we had an opportunity at one point to do that. And I understood the reasoning for kicking off, obviously, but at the same time, I'm like, it doesn't count. It would be good to practice an onside kick against another team. Yeah, everybody wants to win preseason, but really, who cares? Practice the onside kick. Let's try it.
Yeah. Dude, another thing that I was watching that game and thinking about is I was all hyped about us getting Pryor, Terrell Pryor.
Dude, don't talk about him yet, man.
Okay. All I'm going to say about him, nothing from the game, is all I'm going to say is they say that he catches 400 balls before every practice from the jugs machine.
Maybe
Every day.
that's 399 too many or something.
Yeah, maybe he has a 300.
Maybe his hands hurt.
Maybe
he needs to stop.
Maybe he has a 400 catch limit per day.
Limit. I know, dude.
Anyway, we'll talk about him in a minute, I guess. What else do you want to say about the overall flow of the game? Did anyone else stand out to you that's on the bubble or anything?
What did you think about what do you think about the running back situation right now?
Ooh, that's
I
a
thought
good
Chris
question.
Thompson was solid, when he was in.
Well, let's throw away the first quarter where they were just all horrible, and then talk about the second quarter.
Forget about that. I thought Chris Thompson did a good job later because they were also throwing those little, he's good for catching those little passes too. So he's kind of flexible that way. I thought, like you said, Fat Rob had a really good game.
He did it. Chris Thompson did a good job, but there was one play earlier before they started playing better, where he was running to the right, and there was a huge hole open off tackle, and he tried to bounce it outside. If he would have just stayed in that lane, he would have got 8 yards. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's like this guy that the Redskins really seem to like, and they keep going back to him. But it seems like the past few years, it's been has he really been that reliable? Has he been that solid of a player for him?
When he's not injured?
Yeah, I honestly thought he would not be on the team as long as he has been on the team.
Yeah, me too. He's one of those dudes that keeps hanging around.
He just keeps showing up. He's like that,
hemorrhoid.
Like that. Yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna go that far. I was gonna be that's it. They keep showing up after you got rid of it.
And you're it's in the same exact spot.
I know. It's man, I just got rid of that last week.
Right in the center of your lip,
I thought you were
on that little indention above your lip.
Sounds like I know where you have zit problems.
The little indention right above your lip. What is that indention called? Where it goes
There's a
in?
name for that.
I know. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
If we could figure out If we could figure out the name of it, that's what I would call this
I
episode.
think it's called your lip mark.
Lip mark. Well, the lip mark's it. He's like that.
Either that or it's like it's your snot slide or something. I mean, basically, when you snot out of it, it
Snot
collects all
slide.
that little thing and it slides down onto your.
It guides it right into your mouth.
Guides it down to your mouth. And when you're a kid, you love that thing.
Snot slide.
That's right. Anyway, we digress.
So anyway, yeah. So Chris I think he's a good player. I mean, he can catch the ball, so he's always got these little swing passes, and he's really fast. So I mean, he had one run in this game of like 20 yards, didn't he, on a little swing pass? He had a big one, big gainer. But
he stays healthy. I mean,
but P Rind, let's just go ahead and indoctrinate him right now.
Wait. Is his name really P Rind?
P Rind.
They kept calling. they kept calling him P Rind, and I was like, why would you pronounce it that way? Even if it was my name, I'd be like, no, dude, it's Perrine.
I know, I'd be like, it's Perrine. Like, my name's Joe Dierte.
No, dude.
It's P Rind.
It's P Rind. No, it's Perrine. I mean,
from now on Harry Hog, he's P Rind.
That's just silly, man.
And I don't even
know. The announcers were calling him P Rind.
What's the definition of P Rind? What is your? I don't know, man. He hit me right in my P Rind. Anyway, here's what my thoughts of P Rind in the last couple games. Like, people have been like all hyped up on him, but I haven't seen really that. I haven't been that impressed with him.
I thought last week he looked good, but this week I don't remember him standing out.
No, Fat Rob did.
Fat Rob did.
He came to play.
What's his name? What about Matt Jones?
Matt Jones is cut, dude. He's the guy we're keeping around for the fourth week.
He's gone, dude?
I felt sorry for him because he's in there with the four stringers in the very end of the game, and last year he started.
What happened to that dude, man? He was a starter.
He kept fumbling, remember? He just kept fumbling, and then like after week 8, Jay Gruden was like, "Dude, you're benched," and he never brought him back.
Dude, what happened to him? Though?
And then in the offseason, dude, he tried to say that he wanted to be traded, and then he wasn't going to show up for the voluntary stuff, and then I don't think that helped his cause any.
No.
So now we refer to him as a camp body.
He's a camp buddy.
He's a camp buddy.
Dude, you're required to be here if you want to get paid. Get out there and don't fumble.
Yeah, and then basically he's going to be cut. I'm guarantee you.
Somebody will pick him up. I bet you we'll see a resurgence in him. I thought that on some team, I thought that he had, he seemed to have good, I don't know what the word is, work ethic or whatever. But I mean, it seemed like he could really move the ball downhill. He just needed to learn how to hold on to it
until he fumbles.
So, yeah, I mean, if he could curb the fumbling,
yeah,
then I think he could be a strong back for somebody.
Remember last year, Larry Michaels he's been using one of these balls that has a sensor in it that beeps when you're not squeezing it tight enough.
Who came up with that, dude?
I don't know, but that's what he was practicing with, and they said that it had solved his problem. And then the next week, he's like, bloop, fumble.
The ball was beeping all week.
But yeah, so I haven't been that impressed with P Rind. In fact, in the last game, I was personally more impressed with Mac Brown. So
yeah,
I mean, Mac Brown, is he still eligible for?
He's another one that's hung around for like 3 years now.
That's why I was asking if he's eligible for practice squad again, because
I don't know, dude. They might have to cut him loose. See, if John was here, he would know that stat.
Yeah, because if we have Fat Rob, and then we have P Rind, and
Chris
then
Thompson.
We have Chris Thompson, are we going to keep 4 running backs? I don't know if we will, because you might say we keep a full.
Mac Brown to special teams.
Well, yeah, but he's still taking up a roster spot.
True.
But see, I mean that they might keep 4, but then look at the tight ends, dude. Look how many tight ends there are. And good ones. We've got. Should I go down the list? We've got Jordan Reed, Niles Paul. We got that new dude, Jeremy Sprinkle, the rookie, but I think he's going to get cut or on practice squad. Derek Carrier. I feel like I'm forgetting someone
Do you
else.
think Carrier's going to stay on?
But we got 3 really good ones. Niles, Paul. I'm forgetting some dude. You guys are out there yelling it right now.
Chris Cooley.
But, dude, Niles, Paul, people forget this, but 2 years ago, maybe 3 now, remember in training camp it was a battle between him and Jordan Reed, and Niles Paul had won the starting job and then got injured like the first week. And then that's when Jordan Reed like took, started playing really well.
Yeah, Jordan Reed had his like Tom Brady moment after that. And then like everybody was like talking about
Vernon Davis.
Special.
Dude, Vernon Davis. And he had that huge catch this week. So we got 3 like starting tight ends. Vernon Davis, Niles Paul, and Jordan Reed. And then we've got, Derek Carrier and Jeremy Sprinkle. That's 5 tight ends, and they're all decent. But we can't keep 5.
Tight ends.
Are we going to carry 4? I don't know.
I could see them letting Carrier go, honestly.
He's gone. Sprinkle's probably on the practice squad, and then I'm pretty sure we're going to keep the other 3 guys because Niles Paul can also line up as a fullback, which is why I was saying we might not keep Mac Brown because Niles Paul could fill that role. But anyway, see, we got and then do you even want to go into receivers? There was dudes in a receiver that I didn't even know we had on the team that have played in other places. Like that Brian Quick dude played for the Rams.
Oh, yeah.
And he's buried with like the 4th string dudes.
I know. I was like, who's this guy?
And then we got some guy named Hazel and like all these dudes. And then who's going to make the team? Let's talk about that.
Jamison Crowder.
Pryor. What were you about
Pryor's
to say?
only got a 1-year deal right now.
Doxson, who we still haven't seen, and I'm not happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
So those are like our starting dudes right there. And then we've got Maurice Harris. I'm going off the top of my head, which you guys know my memory is not good because Josh has dropped me on my head like 5 times growing up.
And threw spears at you.
Yeah, and bricks and stuff.
We had a rough childhood.
But anyway, we have a plethora of receivers. A log jam, you might say.
Oh, my.
Defense. Well, offensive line, I'm a little concerned about because.
Dude, what's up with Trent Williams this week? He looked like he was getting schooled.
He was getting schooled, and Spencer Long is injured, so we started a rookie, Chase Rollier. Is that how you say it? I'm calling him.
Where is he lining up?
Chase Roller. He's a center. He's a backup center, and he's a rookie. And he did pretty well this week, actually. When I was rewatching, I didn't really see anything egregious from him. I saw Trent Williams get beat once or twice, and I saw Morgan Moses get beat.
Was Trent Williams trying to shift in and provide coverage, though? I mean, like...
He would have had to shift over 2 dudes.
I know, dude, but he was kind of backing up. I wonder if he was trying to do that on purpose, kind of get...
I don't know.
In case somebody... I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I really don't know, but I'm a little concerned. We still don't have much depth at O-line. As you
Silverback.
Hopefully Chase Rollier will play well, but we're also banking on Sean Laval still, which we need an update there. But I think we needed defensive guys more, and we went and got them, so I'm not complaining too much.
Let's talk about the defensive ends real quick.
Gillette was in there, finally. I didn't see anything super remarkable, but I'm going to rewatch the game again, probably tonight.
Ryan Kerrigan.
Martrell Spate has kept standing out for me. Preston Smith was in there, right? I didn't see anything too remarkable, like as far as like pressure and stuff, but we were stopping the run.
Draft pick?
The stuff that I saw was not super pressure up front on the quarterback. It was like we were swarming to the ball when it was thrown and actually making tackles more than we have in the past. And like we didn't look all confused.
Dude, who was our big draft pick this year?
Jonathan Allen. He was in there. Our cousin. Yeah, he was playing strong, but I wasn't really I need to go back and watch the defense. You know who else had a good game? I thought Breland.
Rashad Breeland.
He was making tackles all over the place. I thought he had a pretty good game.
What about our defensive backs?
I think they're looking better. We still have some distance to go on those dudes, but Norman was kind of getting schooled in the beginning by A.J. Green.
I know.
Basically, our whole team was getting schooled by A.J. Green. That dude's amazing. D-Hall's not even on the field.
No.
So you think he was just going to get cut?
I don't know, dude.
I bet he
I
will.
don't know. You think they'll cut him?
I bet.
Do you think he's done?
I think he's done, dude. He's
they
gonna
cut him,
he's
you
gonna
think he's
end up
done?
with Trevor Manich and Brian Mitchell like on the
You think
Redskins.
so?
I don't know.
Or do you think they'll bring him around as like a defensive backs coach?
I don't know. He might make it. Let me see if I can pull up the Redskins roster real quick. Just because I want to see what the depth chart looks like right now. Talk amongst yourself. Is the
All right.
Redskins.com depth chart even right?
Probably not.
All right, so I'm on the defense, dude. All right, I've got it. If it's right, here's what we got as far as cornerbacks are concerned. We got Rashad Breeland and Josh Norman as the starters, and then we got Kendall Fuller, who's like the nickel guy, Quentin Dunbar, Deshaun Phillips. Didn't we just trade Deshaun Phillips? I thought we traded him this week. There was like an old school trade. We traded Deshaun Phillips for somebody. I don't remember.
Like straight up?
Yeah, it was like a straight up trade, but I don't remember who it was. And then we've got, all right, other defensive backs. We got Joshua Holsey, third string.
Dude, I always think of those straight up trades as kind of like, trading player cards.
Yeah.
It's like you're sitting there. It's like, dude, I'll give you my Marshall Speed for your whatever.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
we've got this dude Tevin Homer. I remember seeing him get beat a couple times, and I was like, "Who's that Homer guy?" And then Fabian Moreau is our third round pick, who's supposed to be good, but I think he's still coming off of an injury. So I mean,
Seemed like a lot of people were getting hurt early in the preseason.
dude, I don't even see, dude. Oh, hold on. And then our safeties, Sua Cravens, DJ Swearinger. Cravens is injured, of course. Everett, who I think has had a strong camp. Will Blackman. Stefan McClure. I don't even know who he is. Fish Smithson. He's the dude that had an interception, right?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And then Monte Nicholson. Where is D Hall even on here? Did he get cut and we didn't know about it?
I don't know. Did he?
I
You
don't
better
know.
look that up, dude. Wasn't he? Didn't I see him on the sideline this week?
If he got cut, I didn't know about it.
That would be hilarious. Please disregard our lack of knowledge on that subject.
He's still showing on here as a Redskin. So I don't know. So maybe he's still, since he's injured, maybe he's on the PUP or something. That's why he's not on the depth chart. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, they might keep him around. I mean, you know who else has looked pretty good to me? He's a third stringer. Of course he's been playing against scrubs. That Chris Carter dude, the new Mr. Nichols. He's had some big plays. And did you know that we have another Brandon Banks on the team? Did you see that guy?
A different guy named Brandon Banks?
Yeah, he's a defensive end. I was like, who is that dude? That's not Brandon Banks.
What do we call Brandon Banks?
BB Hummingbird.
BB Hummingbird.
Dude, he plays for the Hamilton Tiger Cats now up in Canada. He's a returner still.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He found his niche. He's a Raleigh, North Carolina boy. Raleigh, North Carolina guy. I don't know where do you go to school? I don't even remember. Doesn't matter. Brandon Banks. Good for him.
Dude, this depth chart's not even right because I specifically remember hearing Jay Gruden saying that the starting linebackers were going to be Mason Foster and Zach Brown, and they've got Will Compton as the starter.
Interesting.
Anyway,
you know who we need to bring back?
who?
Brian Kozlowski.
Brian Kozlowski. He
BK,
was a tight end, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. One week he was on his couch, and the next week he was on the team.
So
Making a touchdown. Remember that?
Yeah.
Where are they now? That's a new segment. We need to know where's Brian Kozlowski next week. Somebody tell us.
Who's picking up that? Maybe that will be a good job for Boston Skins. Anyway, yes.
Let's give our games and kicks, dude.
Yeah, let's do our games and kicks and get out of here. We'll find out soon enough who's going to get cut in this last game, which is tomorrow. Don't forget, Thursday night. What time is the game? Tomorrow against, guess who? The Bucks. We always play the Bucks in the preseason. From Raymond James Stadium.
A stupid cannon.
It's at 7:30 tomorrow night, guys.
They're gonna fire that thing off just because they need to practice for preseason.
Yeah. They love that cannon down there in Tampa. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so you know what it's time for. It's time for this week's Kicking the Balls Award. This week's Kicking the Balls Award is brought to you by Ridapoo.
We've been doing that Ridapoo thing for 10 years.
At least.
Pryor. Next.
All right, I got a comment on Pryor. At
Dude,
first, I was
1-year contract.
wait.
Go ahead.
At first, all right, I'm with you. He dropped how many in this game? 2?
Too many.
Or was
too
it just
many.
1? And 1 last
Wide
week at least.
open, dude.
Yeah,
Catch the
but
ball before you turn and run. These are basic things.
all right, when I rewatched the game, I was all ready to give him my Kicking the Balls award. But then he caught after the interception and we started driving down the field, he caught a key 3rd and 11 in like tons of traffic. A difficult catch.
Same route that he ran before, and he dropped it because he didn't look the ball in before he turned and ran.
I know, but since he redeemed himself, I had to pull back on giving him the kick. I had to flinch it.
I'm still kicking
He
him.
flinched, but I didn't kick. All right, you can kick him. I'm just saying why I didn't.
Dude, we got some receivers. If he's gonna come in and we're gonna pay him on a 1-year deal, come in and catch the ball, how much money does he make for those catches? He needs to catch the ball. End of story. I don't want to see any more drops from him or he's cut. That's it.
All right.
He's on my list.
Yeah, he's not high in my I was excited about him, and I'm not as much excited anymore if he can't hold on to the ball.
I was like, who's that tall Deshaun Jackson? Oh, it's Pryor. Because he's wearing number 11.
He's deceptively fast, too, because he takes these huge steps.
He has big strides. He's tall dude, right? Like 6'5" or 6'6".
He's huge.
Yeah.
And anyway, so all right. Well, I'm gonna give my Kicking the Balls award to Kirk Cousins because in the first quarter and a half, he was playing horrible. Like there had to have been dudes open when he took those sacks, and there was one sack he took where instead of stepping up into the throwing lane off to his right, he went backwards and went around right into a sack.
Thing he did?
And then there was that. And then there was some overthrows, and then, of course, the horrible interception that he threw to Burfict.
Oh, dude. He made some bad decisions early on in that game. So much so that I was going, gosh, I hope he gets better quick because otherwise you need to send in McCoy, who, in my opinion, looked really pretty solid.
He was sharp. Of course, he was going up against twos, but still.
Yeah.
Well, dude, what was up with that Burfict guy? I just casually walking by a TV that had ESPN on in a store, and it said that he was fined for a hit. But I don't remember him hitting anyone.
I don't know.
I'm going to look it up real quick.
Don't remember.
Let's see. He got a suspension for 3 games. Here's the hit. All right. Oh, it must have been, this was against someone else. This is 2 days ago. Did they already have another hit, or was it from the week before? It must have been the week before, and they didn't come out with the suspension until anyway. Anyway, that dude's a dirty player. He got there was last week in practice, or a couple weeks ago in practice, where he got in a fight with his team because he hit his own teammate low. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, so that's the kick, and that's the kick awards, and John's kick is going to go to who can I give it to? The kicker for making all the field goals.
You know what? I'm going to say something about the kicker again, though.
Okay.
I still think you know how we talked about rules, new rules. Did we do a new rules section this year? Or we're going to do that next week. I still
We'll
think
talk
there should
about
be
it
a
next time.
rule on the kickoff. If you put it through the uprights, you get an extra point.
I think that would be actually kind of cool.
It's just a free point rule because it could change the whole game.
Yeah. Anyway, so Dustin Hopkins was I think perfect on the game. So that's who John's giving his kick to. All right. So you know what? Let's go to this.
And now, the coveted and ever elusive Game Ball Award.
Game Ball Award brought to you by Triangle Casket Store.
Game balls. Who was it that had that big play on the punter? Remember we flew in, not blocked it, and the dude went and tackled him.
Yeah, that wasn't Martrell Spate too, was it?
That's
It's too
what I
good
was
to be
trying to
true.
remember, dude. I just can't remember.
I can't either. I wish, dude, because that was pretty. It was also pretty awesome how that punter handed it to himself behind his back instead of kicking it.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but that's another point, dude. Our special teams have been actually playing well for once after being horrible.
Yep. I think I'm just going to give it to the special teams this week.
The whole
Because of that.
special teams? Okay.
Special teams.
All right, and you guys already
It's
know
my
who's
game
getting mine, Martrell Spate, because he was awesome on special teams, and then that huge hit. He just stoned that guy in the backfield on the run.
Yep.
And
Dude, I predict that within 4 weeks you're going to be giving a kick in the balls to Martrell Spate.
no way, dude. He's my new Fincher, the clincher.
So there's another one. Where are they now? Where's Fincher the clincher?
I'm straight up Spate, dude.
Alfred Fincher.
We need a nickname for Martrell Spate. He doesn't have one. I don't know. If you guys have an idea for a good nickname for Martrell Spate, go ahead and send it in to us at Aaron, Josh, or John at harryhogfootball.com. That's HARRY hogfootball.com. And
How about Spate the spatula?
I don't like that. Spate the spatula.
Spate. Spategate.
Spate. Do we want to go into the injury report?
I don't have anything to report unless you got it. I don't know what it is.
What do you
Who's
mean?
hurt? People are hurt.
Well, Phil Taylor got hurt. We already talked about that. The contusion.
Yeah.
Sua Cravens. All right, I'm trying to go to Redskins injury report, and there's nothing there. Sua Cravens. Let me see what his. Say something poignant while I'm finding this stuff.
Poignant. I'm saying something poignant as the new voice of the Washington Redskins. Larry Michael is out. I'm in.
Oh my goodness, dude! Phil Taylor is out for the year.
What do you do, dude?
I just saw this. For a quad, which we said was a contusion.
Yeah.
We're in trouble without him.
MCL or something?
We are in trouble.
What was it? Detached ligament? What happened, dude?
A quad contusion? He's out for the year? Why would that be? Why?
I don't know.
That's a big injury for us, dude.
That's weird.
Reportedly will miss the season.
Wow.
Why would he be out for a contusion?
Don't know.
All right, so that's not good. A source said. Anytime it says a source said, we don't know if that's true. But it is pretty bad. That's bad. So Phil Taylor, reportedly, sources say that he's out for the season. So, yeah. What else? What about Sua Cravens? All right, here's the list. Sua Cravens for tomorrow. He's expected to be ready for week 1, according to Rich Tandler, our friend over there at Real Redskins. Rich Tandler used to be called Tandler's Blog, the only Redskins fans source of information that I know has been around longer than us. Anyway.
Chandler's a good dude.
He is. Anyway, so Cravens has been watching, and he had that knee surgery on August 15th, but he's going to be back by week 1. So that's good. Phil Taylor, he's out. According to John Keim, he's going to miss the season. I hope that's not true. Ryan Anderson, our second-round pick from Alabama, linebacker, he has a neck injury. He's questionable for tomorrow. He was in Tuesday's practice. So it says he's making progress. So he might be held out tomorrow to be ready for the regular season. And, of course, everyone wants to know about Josh Doxson's hamstring. And is he ever actually going to play for the Redskins? I don't know. It seems unlikely he will play tomorrow.
Is this going to be one of those dudes that, like, everybody got excited about and we never see him play?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Jordan Reed, he played. So I don't know if they're going to play him tomorrow because, well, you know, they're not going to play our starters. Man. But so he's probably back. Breland exited Saturday's practice with a groin injury. He tweaked it, so he's not going to be out long. So he'll probably be all right. Wait, that was... Sorry, dude. That was way back on the 5th. That's on the 5th.
That's a long time ago.
So he's good. So basically, Cravens looks like he'll be good. Taylor looks like he's out for the year. That's surprising to us. It's like a news flash to us here. And Ryan Anderson looks like he'll be back. And Josh Doxson, of course, we don't know about. So that's the injury report. The injury report. And with that, dude, this podcast is actually going pretty long. So,
see if you can find Heavy and play it. That's really what
I can't find it right now. We have to talk to Desmond about that to see if it's even legal.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
So, anyway.
I'm heavy.
Anyway, dudes.
I'm feeling heavy. I'm heavy. I'm heavy. I'm feeling extra heavy.
Wait, what am I naming this podcast? The Snot Slide?
Snot Slide Heavy.
Heavy Snot Slide.
Heavy Snot Slide.
Anyway, dudes, hail to the Redskins. Go ahead and send us some email if you want. It should be working again. Hopefully our website's up so we can post this podcast. We got a game tomorrow night. Don't forget, see what scrubs are going to make the team. Hopefully we'll have John back prior to the first game or maybe at the end of it. I don't know, but we'll have him back soon. And, dudes, real football is like 2 weeks away, not even.
I know, dudes. Exciting stuff.
All right, dudes. Hail to the Redskins. And if you see a Cowboys fan,
you know what to do.
Joke 'em.
That's right. Joke 'em, ladies and gentlemen.